Huh?
This is going to be a huge one. Bills and Bengals. Let's get it.
Is this finally Monday night, by the way? This is the best Monday night game we've had in a while. Like, I'm trying to think back to other Monday night games that were this good. Like a couple years ago, of course, guys hate on me in the chat, but you guys remember the Rams Chiefs game from a couple years ago on Monday night? That was like the Chiefs lost like 51-45 or whatever, or 52-55, whatever it was. That one was epic, but it's been a while, guys. This is a epic game. This is two of the top 5 teams in football going at it. I'm a little surprised the Bills are favored, quite frankly. I think the Bengals have been playing a little bit better. Rec, you mean Pickett versus Ryan wasn't epic? It was not. It was not, Rec. I think the Bengals have been playing better football recently. I think Josh Allen's had some. Josh Allen gets. By the way, like, there was a weird press conference today where, like, one of the reporters is like, "Well, this offense just doesn't seem like they're playing good enough to win a Super Bowl," and he said, "Okay." Which I don't know how else he's supposed to honestly respond to that. Like, what do you say to that? Like, yeah, he's like, okay, that's great. That's your opinion. Thanks a lot. We're going to win games and keep moving on. So, I actually respect the response. It was just super weird thing to say from that reporter. But anyway, this game, I am making a pick of my week. Maybe it's a lot of heart in this one. I am all on Team Bengals this week. Bengals win here, and if the Chiefs are able to somehow beat the Broncos at home this week and the Derek Carr-less Raiders next week, and the Bengals win this one, the Chiefs would sure up the bye and the 1 seed. So I'm going to be watching this game very, very closely. But honestly, this is like one of the best games we've seen in a while in the league. Like, this is a great matchup. You got Joe Burrow versus Josh Allen. I want to ask the chat, and I want to ask Chris, if you guys had your choice of a quarterback, simply based off quarterback in this matchup between Josh Allen and Joe Burrow, who would you prefer to start a franchise with, Joe Burrow or Josh Allen?
Cooper Rush.
Okay, Cooper Rush is not allowed to. Cooper Rush, the mod, can't. How are we gonna have a mod that can't even spell Chiefs? He can't even spell Chiefs in the chat. The I is before the E. Cooper Rush, the mod. All right, home with the second best QB in the NFL. The dude's gonna win his second MVP trophy in 5 seasons. All right, these two quarterbacks here combined for 0 MVP trophies. All right. All right. In the chat, though, we got QB alone, Burrow. I mean, everyone has been Joe Burrow so far, which I don't think would be the sentiment. I think most people would take Josh Allen. Milwaukee coming in with Josh.
It's probably like age and contract.
I mean, they're not that dissimilar in age. And I'm not saying anything about contract or anything like that. So this is simply who you would rather have. And to be fair, I think they have different strengths. Like, if we're talking just straight thrower of the football, I'm probably taking Joe Burrow simply because I think he's more accurate. He's more consistent. He doesn't have the arm strength of Josh Allen. Almost no one does. So it doesn't mean that he doesn't have good arm strength, but, if I'm here, thrower of the football, I lean Burrow, but it's hard to discount Josh Allen's ability to run the ball, right? Like, Joe Burrow doesn't necessarily have that. Not that he can't do it, and he does it every once in a while, but it's not close in that factor. So for me, I honestly don't know. It's a really tough call for me.
Much every quarterback not named Davis Mills can run.
I hand you a lot of quarterbacks that can't run. Russell Wilson.
Well, okay. Here we are.
Welcome back, Chris.
Cooper Rush.
Just come back in here, and here's what we. No, man, this is
it's ironic that his name is Rush because he can't run.
This is the matchup of the week, right? 11-4,
Oh.
12-3 Bills. And have we had Football Wife in to talk about this in our to call in yet?
Is she calling in? Football wife, you want to chat with us?
Football Wife,
backstage.
we missed you last time, but if you want to come in and talk about your boys, now's a great time. If you want to chat about what you think about this week's game, Joe.
Chris, I posed the question: if you were starting a franchise and you just had to select one of these two quarterbacks, who are you rolling with?
Oh, starting a franchise between the two. Oh man, I mean, I think Allen would probably be my guy. I think I'd probably go Allen.
Why?
I just think that he's durable. For the most part,
Yeah.
he's durable. You know what he can do on the ground. You know that if he gets those big plays, I mean goal line plays, he's just as good as some of the other running quarterbacks in the league when it comes to anything within 5-yard line. And he's proven he could throw the ball. Maybe not. I mean, I would say accuracy is probably where he doesn't quite stand up to a couple other quarterbacks in the league, but he can still make big plays downfield. I would probably lean Allen.
And to be honest, this is clearly two of the top 4 quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm talking about these two. Like literally, I think there's a drop off after the top 4, and you're probably gonna even hate my 4th, but I think it's Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and I'm not even saying order right now. I'm just saying quarterbacks and Herbert. I'm including Herbert. I do. I think he needs the freedom to do a little more where he's not a robot. I hate how robotic he is, but wait, was Mahomes in that? Mahomes or Burrow? Who would you rather have as QB?
And Mahomes barely won.
Well, that's absurd because everyone knows who even Football Wife voted for Mahomes there. By the way, Cooper Rush, the mod, Scotty, I ran a solid 4.6 at the combine. Yeah, but you failed the Wonderlick because he can't even spell Chiefs. So you failed drastically at the Wonderlick, so your 40 time was irrelevant.
By the way, Football Wife, if you want to join in, just jump in our Discord and join the live backstage, and we will get you in to talk about the Bengals. So, Scotty, Bills are favored here in Cincinnati. Who do you like in this one?
One of my picks of the week. I'm taking Bengals +1. Like, yes, I think my heart's on the Bengals, but I also don't think the Bengals should be an underdog here. I think, and not that it's a drastically bad line. I think maybe the Bengals should be favored by 1. I think the Bengals have been, over the stretch of like the last 10 weeks overall, a better football team than the Bills. I think the Bills have been a little inconsistent and haven't played up to. I think there's a lot of hype around the Bills, and they haven't quite played up to that hype, in my opinion. At Cincinnati, Monday Night Football, that crowd's going to be nuts. I think the Bengals win this game. I really do, and I hope they do.
I don't know. I'm going to be glued to it. It's going to be an amazing game. I can't wait for it.
I was saying it's one of the best Monday night game we've had in years.
100%. I can't think of a memorable Monday night game. I can think of a couple memorable Sunday night football games. Not too many Thursday night, and not too many Monday nights come to mind.
I of course threw out the Rams Chiefs game a few years ago, Chris, where the Rams beat the Chiefs like 55-52 on Monday night. But
and that game should have been in Mexico.
It was supposed to be in Mexico.
Everything.
Yep, and then we had to go in LA instead, and then our defense didn't make the plane ride. So,
no big deal.
It happens.
Except for one guy that got a touchdown.
Chris Jones sacked, fumble. Did he recover it and take it in?
I don't remember for his Jones. I just know somebody scored because each team had a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, see, we have a defense too. I swear.
Chairman, it feels like the Bengals have been on the upswing. Bills have been struggling. It is true. The Bills have had. I mean, they lost Von Miller. They have some injury issues, in a couple areas. But I just think, how much do you miss Von Miller right about now? As you're getting down the stretch of the season, getting into the playoffs, How much are you missing Vaughn? He's out streaming right now on Twitch or something, hanging out.
I don't think he is right now.
He was earlier, but anyways, he's been spending a lot of time.
I will throw this out, Chris, and this was brought up by one of your favorite people. I'm stealing this line, but this is from one of your favorite people, Nick Wright, on First Things First. But this is not related to Jokic, so it could be okay. He points out, since Josh Allen beat Kansas City in Week 6, so Week 7 and on, so we're talking, I mean, we're like 10 weeks now. That's a big, it's not a small sample size. Passer rating, 26th in the league. Turnovers, most in the league at quarterback. Completion percentage, 30th. Yards per pass, 21st. Pass yards per game, 12th. And pass TDs tied for 8th.
Okay.
So
there's some mediocrity in there.
I love Josh Allen. There's a lot of below mediocrity in there. I love Josh Allen, and don't get me wrong, like he's phenomenal when he's on, but there's inconsistencies. From week to week, you don't always know what you're getting with Josh Allen.
And also, if you're looking at the two teams that you're looking at on the screen right now, there's one team that has far better offensive weapons across the board than the other. I mean, obviously the Bills have, a nice receiver. They got Diggs. They got some decent running backs. But running backs, vote goes to the Bengals. Wide receivers, Bengals. Quarterback, I mean, arguably these two are right up there with each other. And if you're taking a guy that has more weapons at his disposal and from an offensive standpoint to win a shootout, the Bengals really, it's hard to go against the talent that they have on that offensive side of the ball.
Yeah. No, I'm not disagreeing with that. Although offensive line, I probably lean Bills over Bengals. And now Lael Collins, their free agent pick, out for the rest of the season. Thank you so much.
Cooper Rush.
I didn't even want to. I just heard the song and the shimmy. I didn't even read the name yet. Thank you for following Cooper Rush, the mod. It's so great to have you here.
There you go.
It's just fantastic.
I still want to know who that. Have we figured that out? Truly, who that is?
Is it like? I mean, has Cuban Benny spoken recently? Cuban Benny, are you here still?
I mean, you people are from Colorado, so.
Figure out.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I'm gonna literally investigate this, like I have the Idaho murders recently, Chris. I've dove deep into those, so I'm gonna also. Anyone else on that, by the way? Has anyone else? I've talked about this on the stream before,
I haven't.
right?
I haven't caught up on it, but it's definitely on my list of things that I'm just like.
I'm so enveloped with the Idaho 4 murders. You have no idea. It's a problem.
I have to get into it. Is it on Netflix?
Have to know. No. It's not a show, Chris. It's not a show.
Well,
it's just.
I thought there was like
it's a real life murder.
What?
In Idaho of 4 college students. And the storyline behind this is just so bizarre. And we're like a month plus, we're like 6 weeks out from the murders. And I'm all about it, Chris. I want to know anything and everything that's leaked. I can't wait till hopefully they find the person. They haven't even like detained anyone yet. I'm like, what are you doing? Idaho police. They have 60 FBI agents working on this case, Chris. 60 FBI agents.
It's wild, man. I haven't. When the doc comes out, when all that stuff comes out I'm sure I'll be all over it. But
it's like 35% of my TikTok feed is another person talking about those murders.
Oh,
Chris.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
But let's get back to the Panthers and Bucks here in this next one. Bucks favored by 3 in this, and over under set at 40. Now you have Carolina coming into Tampa Bay, Tom Brady and the Bucks looking to close out and try to win this division, but not so quick, because you also have the Carolina Panthers, who are right on their heels trying to do the same thing. So this is a massive game for the NFC South. You look at the NFC South, and the top team is Tampa Bay at 7-8. They're below 500 here, and it's just like, all right, this isn't exactly the best division in football, and it's arguably the worst division in football.
Not even arguably.
It's not arguably. Thank you.
Well, it might be because of the AFC South. Never mind.
Well, AFC South is pretty...
I think Jacksonville would destroy any of these teams.
I mean, Tennessee might be... Tennessee
sucks.
They're bad, too.
Tennessee's from Malik Willis. They're not winning another game.
Yeah.
So there's a couple bad divisions here, but this one, the NFC South is rough. So all that being said, we actually have a game that could change the tides in this NFC South at the top of this, and it's this weekend's Panthers and Bucks. Scotty, what do you got on this one?
Another game of the week for me. And Chris, I think we're battling it out on this one. We disagree. We're both on this game.
Yep.
Correct?
We are both on this game.
And you guys should just follow me because I have a better overall record on the season. No, I'm just kidding. I'm riding the Panthers, dude. Like, Panthers control their own destiny right now, Chris. If the Panthers win their last two games against the Bucks and against the Saints, they win the NFC South. They control their own destiny. You have a Bucks team that just like is a mess. I literally don't even know how they're 7-8. They pull shit out of their wherever. I don't know why. Like, I cuss all the time, but you know.
You literally said shit in the sentence, but you can't say ass.
Can't say ass. It's too much. Too much, Rec. Yeah, the Bucks only know how to come from behind, right? Speaking of ass, they literally just pull things out in the fourth quarter late, and they find a way.
Oh, did we lose Scotty? Where's Scotty? Hold on one second.
No clue what happened.
Scotty, we'll get Scotty back here in a second.
There he is. Scotty?
Yeah, I didn't like his analysis of that game, so we shut him down quick.
He's fired.
He's gone. Scotty's gone. His analysis was
cool.
Damn it, he's back.
So I don't know if we just had like a power outage for like 0.2 seconds, but my computer screen went blank. My phone went blank. It was weird. Anyway, I'm back. Power surge. No big deal.
Chris just Scotty down.
Panthers have been playing winners of 3 of 4. Steve Wilkes has done a phenomenal job. They run the football. I mean, I don't know if Chairman saw that game last week, but they ran for about 550 yards against the Lions last week. Listen, Tampa Bay's offense isn't good enough to beat anyone by more than 3. So even if the Bucks do win this game, they're not going to win by more than a field goal. So at worst, I feel like I'm pushing this one. Give me the Panthers. The Bucks suck, dude. The whole world, the public is going to be in the Bucks. Give me the Panthers. They're playing much better than the Bucks right now.
I mean, here's the thing. All right, so all valid.
Tell me the thing.
All valid.
Yeah, tell me why you're wrong.
But this is a game where you have a 3-point spread here. So pretty much you're telling everybody that these two teams are basically the same, right? On a neutral field, these two teams are exactly the same. And you're telling me that, we have Sam Darnold, who, obviously he's played a little bit better as of late.
Have you watched Tom Brady?
Sam Darnold hasn't exactly been a guy that I have a lot of confidence in. And this is a game where Tom Brady, to win a division in a game like this, I just think there's too much here. The Tampa Bay run defense has slipped a few notches from last season, but I still think they're good enough defensively to still slow down what Carolina's going to do. I just think that this is a big spot for Tom Brady to just sneak into the playoffs, like what you typically do. What storyline would you rather not see, Scotty? You don't want to see Tom Brady sneak his way backdoor into the playoffs and work his way up like we always know he's known to do. And this is a letdown game for everybody who doesn't want to see Tom Brady in the playoffs, and he's going to win this game, and you're going to be disappointed that he somehow weaseled his way in, and he's making a run because of all these bad NFC teams, and you're gonna see him way deep in the playoffs, like your nightmare suggests.
So your argument is that Tom Brady's better than Sam Darnold.
I'm saying if I have to win a football game right now, I would take Tom Brady over Sam Darnold.
Which
would you?
They're like the same human being right now, but sure. But the Sam Darnold's not going to be the one that wins the game for Carolina. That run game's going to win the game for Carolina. And Tom Brady, by the way, sucks, Chris. Tom Brady sucks. He's really bad this year. He's really bad. Hey, I literally watched a 2-minute clip of all of his throws from last week's game against Arizona, who they barely beat in overtime. Arizona, who didn't even want to win the game. Like, they did everything to avoid winning the game, which also, well, regardless. And Tom Brady threw like 3 passes beyond 10 yards. Everything was in the flat. Everything was short. Everything was just so lame and so boring.
Well, Tampa Bay is...
Panthers are winning this game, Chris.
Tampa Bay is 6th overall in yards per game given up. So I feel like they have a good chance to slow down a team that's maybe not very good with Sam Darnold. This is going to be a good defense that the Panthers are going to have to go up against. I mean, they're top 10 in points allowed as well, only giving up 20.3 points per game. I mean, that's where the Broncos are right now too. I mean, Broncos slid last week, but still, to be in the top 10 and then in total yards, top 7 in total defense with some of those defense. I mean, I don't know what they are yards per game on the rush. Not as good. They're middle of the pack. So yeah, I mean, if Carolina's going to win this game, they're going to need to do it on the ground. It's going to be a low scoring, grindy game. And I mean, the over under suggests that we won't have like a shootout by any means, but it's going to be up there.
I'm not saying Sam Darnold's great, but can we talk about that his quarterback rating's over 100? His yards per pass is 8.6, 4 TDs, 0 interceptions, and like he's not asked to do a lot. He's not throwing the ball a lot. Granted, he went 15 to 22 for 250 last week, but their run game predicates what they do in the air, and they're playing better football than the Bucs.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Every basic bettor is salivating at the idea of course, Tom Brady will beat these Panthers, and the Panthers are gonna, I don't even know if I say shock the world because they're just a better team.
Roulettes, first time chatter. Welcome in, Roulettes. Carolina over Jacksonville, 1000%. Also, Roulettes, if Carolina wins, you paint the wall light blue.
Oh,
I like it.
Like a Carolina blue?
Carolina blue? Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. As someone said, I think it was Casually Average earlier, or someone said, like, Mrs. Scotty A. Smith does make the decisions. So I can put my input in, but I don't know if that light blue is going to fly. But Panthers will be flying on Sunday.
Chairman says, question.
Panthers fly?
Panthers
fly,
right? Don't fly. I mean, there's 6. There's like 6 teams that are birds in the NFL.
Okay. The thing is, keep pounding, not keep flying.
Let's fly. Let's fly.
They're gonna pound the shit out of them.
Brady is trash. Send me to Tampa, says Cooper. Chairman, I would take Brady over Darnold every time and always. The question for me is, can Brady still be clutch when it's all on the line? I mean, we'll find out.
I actually don't even question his clutchness. It's the first 3.5 quarters that he's straight garbage. What about those? Every week he's garbage for 3.5 quarters.
But
and then somehow in the late fourth, they play a different defense and he figures it out.
Roulettes, thank you for the follow. Appreciate the love.
Thank you.
By the way, Roulettes, where are you from and who's your team? Like to get to know you a little bit.
I went ahead and asked Cooper that for you, and he's apparently a Broncos fan.
Yeah, Cooper, where are you from? Any hints on? Oh, obviously. Well, I asked him earlier, and he was like, "Well, I'm from Texas, or I'm in Texas now." Yeah, trying to sell it. He's like,
I'll check
casually.
I'm gonna hire a private investigator because we need to know.
We need a PI coming in here. I can't believe there's a both Ghost Hunter and a MILF Hunter in the NFL right now, and they both suck, says Casually.
Right?
Roulette, San Francisco, but my dad is a Jets diehard, and I would love to see them win one day. Hey, all right. There you go. I mean, we were talking about the Jets. I think we have talked a little bit about them. Maybe
we haven't. They're on the preview.
They're on the preview. So we'll talk about some Jets here coming up here, Roulettes. There you go. Cowboys and Titans. Cooper, this is your chance. Cooper, where you at?
Cooper could win this game, honestly.
Cooper could win this game. Cowboys and Titans spread is 12. So that means, in case you're new to spreads, Cowboys are favored to win this game by 13 or more if you want the Cowboys to win this game. But that's just telling you the tail of the tape between these two teams. Cowboys are at the top of the NFC, looking, decent. I mean, they have obviously their hiccups along the way, but they're already clinched in the NFC East and right behind Philadelphia. They won last week, so they're on to a little bit easier of a task against a Tennessee Titans team who has lost 5 straight and just dead in the water. It doesn't even seem. I mean, they're still tied for the AFC South lead with Jacksonville, but I mean, this team is not going places. We kind of knew that, though. Scotty, what do you got on this one? Cowboys and Titans over under set at 40 points.
Honestly, if this wasn't a Thursday night game, I would take the Cowboys, and I still lean Cowboys. It's not one of my bets of the week, but the reason being, and I don't know if we probably haven't mentioned it because we haven't been on since last Wednesday. This game is meaningless to the Titans. So the Titans and Jaguars play next week, week 18. And that's the only game that matters for both teams. It does not matter whether they win or lose this week. The Titans and Jaguars play in week 18, and the winner of that game will win the AFC South and make it in the postseason. Now, you could say the Titans, like, if they win both or they win like this week and then they're not making the playoffs if they lose to Jacksonville next week. So they've already announced Derrick Henry's out. Obviously, Tannehill's out. Malik Willis is starting. This team has been in shambles for a while. I think what the Cowboys are really, really good at doing is just destroying bad teams. I think the Cowboys, actually, I'm probably going to bet it, even if it's not one of my picks of the week. But I think the Cowboys absolutely annihilate the Titans tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a get in, get out. The only thing I can say is if the Cowboys get up in this game, I still think, they'll still be up by double digits.
No, then they'll bring in Cooper Rush and things might go.
Yeah, exactly. Cooper, Cooper in the chat.
Cooper might throw a couple picks to the Titans.
And then there's a backdoor cover situation, and then you're screwed.
No, that makes sense.
I'll be in third quarter to mop up the mess, says Cooper. Yeah, see, you know your role, Coop. You know
he
your
says
role.
To mop up the mess. I don't think he knows that he is the mess. You are the mess, Cooper.
What if, let's just say hypothetically, that was the real Cooper Rush, and we're just talking shit to an NFL quarterback in our chat.
I would say you should probably have better things to do, Cooper.
You should be preparing for the Titans because you know you're going to get some playing time probably when this is a blowout.
Von Miller streamed even when he wasn't hurt, so...
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, if this is the real Coop, you're welcome. Am I the only one giving it to you straight? You're not it. You're not it.
You're not that guy, pal.
I appreciate
not that guy.
How you filled in for Dak and you held the ship up a little bit and made some nice throws from time to time. But Cooper Rush is Sam Darnold. How about that? And they're both gingers. It's perfect. I just came up with that. Cooper Rush is Sam Darnold. You're welcome, everyone. Actually, Sam Darnold's better.
Sam Darnold, Cooper Rush. Casually, AFC South are all trap games for the Cowboys. It'll be far closer than it has any right to be.
The only reason I don't think so is I literally don't think the Titans are making any effort to win this game because it's meaningless to them and they need to save up their energy and focus on the week 18 game. I don't think the Titans could care less about this game. They are totally comfortable with losing this game by 100.
Cooper
I
Rush.
really believe that.
Cooper Rush the mod. I don't need this abuse. Von Miller doesn't treat me this way in his stream. Von Miller pays attention to you in his stream? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
I'm not sure Von Miller knows who you are.
Either
At
way,
least we know who you are.
Whoever, Cooper, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here. At least we acknowledge you. Yeah.
Chairman, can't the Titans still get a wild card? Not if they lose next week. So if they go 1-1, no, they cannot. So it literally comes down to next week. Yes, they could get a wild card, but they got to win both games to get a wild card too. So,
all right, Scotty, we got a showdown in KC, and here it is: the Broncos.
Is it a showdown?
You have an interim head coach. You have Russ coming into town. We fired our offensive line coach. We fired our special teams coordinator. We fired everybody on we're pretty much cleaning house here. Broncos coming in to Kansas City. Chiefs are 13.5 points favorites in this one. And I mean, Broncos, let's just be real. They're not going to win this game. But I mean, will they keep it close in this? Honestly, the Chiefs, they're not very good at covering spreads. At least against some of the bad teams too. Like, you feel like, I mean, the Broncos defense is still there. I don't know how much the firing of the coach and how much this new regime is going to be, just fired up to win this game, a change of pace. I don't know, but 13.5 is a lot against any NFL team. I know the Chiefs right now are, sitting pretty. They're 12-3 at this very juncture, right? They've clinched the division. They're kind of working for that. I mean, this is kind of a meaningful game, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know how much like they get up and then all of a sudden they take the foot off the pedal. They just run the ball, and maybe the Broncos get a backdoor cover here. That's the only thing I'm worried about for their, the Chiefs covering this spread. But otherwise, I don't know. I mean, how sweet would it be? I'm not.
What are you about to say? Go ahead.
How crazy would it be?
Mm-hmm.
Should the Broncos come into KC?
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, win this game without a coach, like a true head coach, and Russell Wilson. I mean, I feel like the embarrassment factor at that point, Scotty, would be like through the roof. It would be absolutely, I mean,
I see what you're doing here.
I'm just saying, like, what the pressure, maybe there's some pressure mixed in to not lose to this absolutely terrible team.
I mean, Mahomes has never lost to this terrible team, so.
Well,
you bet this money line.
Yeah, let's make a money line bet. Chris,
no, we're not betting money line. We're not
ridiculous scenario up. It's
what's the money?
Hold
on, what's the money line on
it's
this?
right there, Chris. It's on the
50.
screen. You gotta look at the screen.
No. It's got to be higher than that. I think.
What do you mean it's got to be higher than that?
Did you pull that today?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, it might be less now because I pulled this at 13.5, and then later I looked and it was 12.5. I don't know what it is right now.
I got plus 530. Okay.
Yeah, so 550 is actually better.
All right. I'm not betting the money line on you. But
for it.
I'll even give you the odds. I'll give you 5-1.
You give me 5-1.
Yeah.
And give me 13.5.
No, what? No, 5-1 on the money line, Chris. What?
Oh, 5-1 money. No. No.
What do you?
I'll take
no.
Give me 13.5. Give me
13.5 if you want it.
I'll take 13.5.
That's fine. We're gonna win this game.
Are you?
Easily.
Okay, we'll see. Bongfoot, what's going on? You think about my boy Derek Carr? Bongfoot.
How much are y'all betting with each other?
He's just gonna have to. What are you gonna like? Can you wash my feet after I win this bet?
I ain't washing. Like I ain't washing no feet, man.
You wash my feet.
No, we're not doing that. Let's relax a little bit on on the weird stuff. You want me to wash your feet? You want me?
No, I actually don't.
That's what I thought.
Mahomes doesn't want to even suit up for this game. But Bongfoot, Raider Nation in the house. Yo, what do you think about my
What's
boy?
up? We talked about it earlier, Bongfoot, the Derek Carr story, and I think the Raiders are doing him dirty. I really, really do. I'm not saying Derek Carr's played phenomenal this year or isn't partially to blame, but to be the scapegoat is shitty. McDaniels sucks, and I'm also in support of it because we do play you and need to win that game. So I'd rather play Jarrett Stidham than Derek Carr. So in that sense, I'm a Chiefs fan, by the way, Bongfoot. Sorry, but I think they did Derek Carr dirty. And he's going to go somewhere else, and let's see if he can compete somewhere else.
By the way, guys, hit that follow button if you have not already, and make sure you guys are letting us know who you are, where you're from, so we can get to know you a little bit, who your favorite teams are, so on and so forth. So, hey, throw out your takes on all of these matchups, what you think is going to happen. We can't wait to get through and get to know each and every one of you new folks. If you're lurking in the background, thank you for being a part of the stream. It means a lot that you're just even hanging out watching us. So there you go.
Cooper, the Rush, the mod, Cuban Benny, watch out for those scammers. As if Cuban Benny, as if Cooper Rush hasn't scammed everyone in this chat to believing he's a real NFL quarterback.
Roulette.
I mean, that's next level right there.
I mean, here's the thing. Roulette's has a point here, right? Roulette's, you never know. Houston took Mahomes to OT.
Go ahead and look at the yardage in that game. It was like 600. It was like 600 to 250.
It doesn't matter. They took him to OT, and it was a sweat. It was a sweat.
I would argue that Houston would beat Denver in a game if they played tomorrow.
I would.
Not only would I argue that, I would vehemently think that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Denver Broncos have the potential to lose to any team.
What team would you pick Denver to win against tomorrow if they played, Chris, in the NFL? Any team?
I could say
I got a team for you.
I mean, obviously they've played the Panthers and the Rams, and again, I mean, Colts might be in the mix.
No, they lose to the Colts. They already did lose to the Colts.
But I mean, that was early on. I don't know.
Yeah, you're much improved now. Sorry.
Let's see.
Nope, not Cardinals. The pick is actually the Titans, ironically.
I knew you were thinking Titans. I still don't think. Well,
you'd beat the Titans this week. This week alone, you would beat the Titans.
Maybe.
I promise you, the Titans give zero fucks. Mike Vrabel is literally not even preparing for this game. He does not care.
He's called it quits.
And it was verified through chairman in the chat that he did the math. And yes, if the Titans, if they lose this week, they cannot get a wild card spot. He said, Scott, you're correct, which is kind of a theme in this. That eventually people get there.
So you're saying Trace McSorley beats Russ? Can't buy it. Says Roulette's.
I mean, he almost beat Tom Brady.
Another great.
He was very close to being Tom Brady.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
It's just a fact. He almost beat Tom Brady. They went to overtime.
D-Boss, another great ex-Patriot player. There you go. Speaking of Patriots, Dolphins and Patriots are in a nice little matchup here. Patriots favored by 3, and we're both on this one, Scotty, with our bets, but in a couple different ways. Scotty, you have Dolphin side. I do as well, but I teased this one up a little bit. I got this tease when it was at 2.5, and then I teased it up to 8.5. So getting the extra points here for Miami just to have that little safety blanket. But you like the Dolphins. I think we both feel good about that. We have Mac Jones that I just don't believe in, and I think the Miami Dolphins might be able to just get through this one. And what do you think, Scotty?
I'm on Dolphins +3. listen, I know the Dolphins have been in the slide. Obviously, Tua is not going to play this week. It's Teddy Bridgewater. The Patriots are bad, Chris. The Patriots are so bad. Mac Jones is bad. Matt Canada is so bad. That offense is a joke. Like, you look at the score last week against Cincy, and they had a chance to win that game, but they really had no part even participating in that game. They were awful. Even with Teddy Bridgewater, you give me plus against the Patriots on a team that's way more talented across the board, in my opinion, than Miami. And I would honestly say Teddy Bridgewater and Mac Jones are similar as far as quarterback level play. I love Miami +3 here. I think Miami wins this game. Let's eliminate the Patriots so we don't have to see them in the playoffs because they're gross. They're so gross to watch.
I mean, I don't really downgrade Teddy Bridgewater that much, from what we were getting from Tua. I mean, we've been talking about this even when early on in the season when there was concussions and, Tua was having issues with, staying on the field. And we were like, oh, Teddy Bridgewater's serviceable. He can come in and make some things happen. And, he can, when you have these wide receivers, you can have some success, right? You have a lot of talent at the wide receiver position in Miami. So, that's not much of a downgrade for me. He also faces a Patriots defense that, struggled against tougher matchups, whether the Dolphins, with, Bridgewater or, whoever. Mike McDaniel will keep things close. And I think that keeping this game close enough will benefit the side with the points. And I think that's why I lean Miami. I just went in a little bit extra and got the teaser in and teased Miami up a little bit. So that was all I did. But I'm still on the Miami side, and I feel great about that teaser.
Nice.
By the way, Patriots offense.
Quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Patriots offense last scored more than 2 touchdowns in a game in week 6. So their offense isn't exactly putting up a ton of points. I don't think they can hang.
I'm so excited to have Miami +3 here.
Yeah.
I think this is a great bet.
Yeah.
I think it's a great bet. I think it'll land. Roulettes, thank you so much for joining us. And honestly, for following us, and I hope you continue to do so. But you just argued against yourself earlier in the chat. You said, so you're saying Trace McSorley beats Russ, can't buy it. And then your next comment was Davis Mills almost beat Mahomes. What's your point? You just argued against yourself. You can't see Trace McSorley beating Russ, but then you're like, but Davis Mills almost beat Mahomes. Who saw that? Nobody saw that.
Apparently he did.
I mean, maybe. I just feel like you argued against yourself there, Roulettes. I just want to point that out real quick.
But hey, we love the opinions. We love it.
No,
hey.
Yeah, honestly, appreciate the opinions. And
Even Cooper said Sky is correct.
what's that? Cooper.
Don't underestimate backup quarterbacks in this league. Bridgewater will have a good day.
Even Cooper thinks I'm correct every once in a while.
Well, Cooper is vouching for backup quarterbacks pretty much in general.
Oh, I see what we're doing.
Yeah, in general.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't put that together. I didn't read the whole statement. To be honest.
Seems like you do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, it gets boring when it's like multiple lines, and it's Cooper Rush especially. I'm not reading that.
Boston.
It's like how
Boston
is too bored to reach for F.
Not used to losing football games almost 20 years. It's really doing a number on us. It's a change of pace. You got to get. Yeah, I mean,
hey, everyone goes through a downturn.
Everyone goes through it.
Mine will eventually occur in like another 20 years too. So
it'll happen eventually.
And by the way, the first like 30 years of my life was pretty shitty with the Chiefs. So
yeah, and it's there for a while too. So which is why I'm not excited about the Broncos and the Patriots looking up at the Dolphins and the. I mean,
it's time to ban Cooper. He's been now he's saying I'll try to keep it simpler for Scotty.
Yeah, there you go.
Teddy, good. You can't even spell Chiefs, Cooper.
Instructions unclear. Promoting Cooper Rush to actual mod.
No, that's not what's happening. Someone ban Rec. Can we ban Rec?
Ban our producer. He's done.
We still need the.
What's that?
need the command.
We need the command. It's on the list. It's on the list.
Why is that not a command? That should definitely be a command.
Packers win the next game, says Milwaukee's. Oh, I see.
Against the Vikings.
I think
Vikings.
the Packers win this game.
Vikings at Packers. Packers favored by 3.5. Playing some decent ball.
All of a sudden, the Packers are like in the playoff picture. Thanks a lot, NFC, for sucking a lot.
It's just the way this is the way. This is the way. And
that sounds weird. That sounds like a cult, Chris.
no, it's a Mandalorian. Mandalorian. Yeah, it's a Disney Star Wars show. Yeah, you've seen that one, right?
Sounds cultish.
This is the way. It is very much cultish. But Vikings.
Is it?
Huh?
Never mind. Let's move on.
Vikings visiting the Packers in this one, and Packers are favored by 3.5. So this one might shock you, considering you have a 12-3 Vikings team visiting the Packers. Now you have the true home field advantage in this one. This isn't one of my bets of the week, but if I had a side, it would probably be Green Bay. Sorry, Joker. But they're trying to make the playoff push, and Aaron Rodgers is kind of doing some nice things. But Vikings offense, I think that there's going to be, I don't know. I think that at some point, they're not going to be able to dig themselves out of holes. And they put themselves in all these close games, and I just worry how much that could be sustained. So Lambeau Field, true home field advantage, as mentioned. Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau late in the season against one of the worst pass defenses, especially if Christian Watson is able to play after being called day-to-day with a hip injury. I don't know. I feel like the Green Bay is the side here. It's hard for me to go against Green Bay in this matchup. I mean, Minnesota hasn't looked as sharp. I know that they're the top, and I know that they're 12-3, but I didn't make this as a bet of the week because I'm nervous about it. But I would be, if I had a pick, it would be Packers.
Yeah, I mean, we both picked the Vikings to win that division. We're right. But oh no. Nope. I got code yellow on that. When we did that. Anyway, the Packers have everything to play for here, and the Vikings don't really have anything to play for. Vikings are pretty much solidified as the number 2 seed in the NFC.
So rest up.
I don't know that they're going to rest up, but like, there's not a ton to play for. By the way, like looking at the guy I trust a lot on Vegas spreads, he actually has Green Bay as a better team than Minnesota, like straight up by a point.
I mean,
so,
that's.
I don't think that's that crazy. I think the Vikings are 12-3 and somehow perfectly average. Maybe slightly above average, and he has them at perfectly average, but I don't know. So I think the Packers have a ton to play for. They've been on a little bit of a streak here. This is a must-win for them, where it's not that important to the Vikings. I just feel like the Packers, and maybe the Vikings show up in the sense like, we want to show you again. They dominated them week 1, if you remember that game. Blew out the Packers week 1. Maybe they're like, this is important because we want to show the Packers that, hey, you're done here and we're the division champs. But if not, I think the Packers win this game. I lean Packers. It's not one of my picks. I at 3.5, if it was 3, I'd probably take Packers. At 2.5, I'd definitely take Packers. At 3.5, I could see them winning by like a field goal. And not paying out on that, but I think the Packers pull this out and have a chance somehow to make the playoffs. I don't want that to happen. To be clear, no offense, Milwaukee, I don't want that to happen. No offense. I just don't like your quarterback.
Well, there you go. There's one reason to cheer for the Vikings for Joker there. Because Joker's like, the disrespect, of course, like always.
Wait, the Vikings need to win out to get the number 2 seed? No, they don't. No, they don't. The closest team is the 49ers, who has like 2 more losses. So they just need to win 1. And maybe they don't even need to win
Minnesota-
one.
How many losses does Minnesota have? 3?
3 losses.
Minnesota's 12. I guess the Niners. So Vikings are 12-3, 11-4. I don't know who that is the tiebreaker. Maybe that is true. But having the 2 versus the 3 isn't like epically important either.
Roulette.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Roulette's in the chat. Run the table. Rodgers is unstoppable. I mean,
Until you have to run the table in the playoffs.
Until you get to the
I'm
NFC
gonna
Championship.
code yellow.
Until you get to the NFC Championship, and then all bets are off. So then
against the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. And then you get the 49ers, and then you're gonna just reach that ceiling that you've just bashed your head against every single season. I mean, man, last year was bad. Let's just put it straight. Trust me, the Vikings want to eliminate us. Says Milwaukee's, and spam code yellow in the chat for Scotty while he is going to take care of business. Either way, I think this is going to be a pretty entertaining game. I mean, the over-under set at 48.5. I think there's going to be some scoring in this one. Not a lot of defense being played. Obviously, the Vikings haven't been known for their defense this season, and the Packers' defense has been not so great either. So if you get a shootout going with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, shootouts with Aaron Rodgers typically end with Aaron Rodgers putting up some numbers too, if obviously he can have everyone healthy going into this one from the offensive side. So, by the way, say something nice about Cooper Rush. We had to say something nice earlier. I guess I'll lead the charge on this one since Scotty's having trouble with that whole idea. But let me see. Give me a second. He's an okay backup. He's a good backup. And that's about the extent of it. Yeah, there you go.
Cooper Rush is a phenomenal quarterback, and he deserves better.
Jets at Seahawks coming at you. So Jets and Seahawks. This one, Jets are favored by 1.5 in this, and we have an over/under set at 42. Cooper Rush, say something good. He's an okay backup, really. He'll win you.
You still gotta say it.
You'll win a couple.
Say something nice.
You'll win a couple games. Cooper. Disrespect. This guy needs to tell Dr. Stream thinks people he pee-pees too much. Yeah.
Well, alcohol will do that, but also sometimes I don't actually. Sometimes, quick secret, Chris. Some of my code yellows are actually just to get another drink, not to actually code yellow. Just saying.
But we're on to the next one here, and that's Mike White. Everyone's pounding Mike White in the chat, getting everything rolling for those Jets because they had to make the move, right? They had to get off of Zach Wilson. No more Zilf. Zilf is on the bench, and we have White back in the mix. Now they've been playing better with White, and yeah, let's go. Seahawks haven't won at home since beating the Giants on October 30th. Just a heads up on that. They've dropped 5 of 6 overall, and they won't have Tyler Lockett most likely. At least we don't think he's going to be available. He underwent surgery for a broken finger. They could also be without right tackle Abraham Lucas, who started all 15 games but is dealing with a knee injury. Jets welcome back Mike White. He had some flashes, when he was relieving Zach Wilson of his duties. And I don't know. I think that there's some successful trends going towards the Jets in this one. Not one of my bets of the week, but I feel like there's a lot of things going against the Seattle Seahawks in this one.
I don't know that I see it that way. I think the Seahawks are a very good home team in general, historically.
True. It's one of the true home.
I know, obviously, they've had a bit of a free fall, losing 5 of 6, but you look at those 5 losses, all but last week against KC were by 1 possession. So I'm taking the Seahawks in a teaser. I'm teasing them up to 7.5, expecting this one to be close. I don't think the Jets are just going to pour it on them. I actually think the Seahawks win this game. For some reason, I have a feeling the Seahawks show out and win this one. Everyone thinks Mike White's this like guy that's going to come in and save the world. And again, when I Google, Chris, when I make images for this, every other quarterback I Google, I can just Google their name. When I Google Mike White, there's like a ton of photos before I even get the quarterback. Like there's like, I know it's a common name. It's Mike White, but still. I'm just saying, like, are we really hanging everything on Mike White right now, who hasn't played in a few weeks and is beat up, obviously,
Yes.
on the road against Seattle? I mean, maybe the Jets win this game, and obviously this is an important game for both teams to keep their playoff chances alive. Neither's great, but they have to win in order to keep their playoff chances alive. I just think give me over a touchdown teaser with Seahawks, because I don't see either team winning this game by more than one score.
RP Dimer, welcome in. Who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Talking about how Mike White sucks. I mean, obviously, he's not the ideal quarterback you want. He's not the ideal quarterback, but is he giving you a chance to win over a guy like over a
Cooper Rush?
Cooper Rush takes the Jets to the Super Bowl.
So Mike White isn't you got to put it in perspective there. He's not their guy, but can he win you a game and get he's in that realm of okay.
Could Derek Carr be a Jet next year?
Oh God, no.
Oh my goodness, he could be.
Could be.
He could be. I don't know.
Why do you hate that, Rec? For who? For the Jets?
RP Dimer, I'm just trying to bother Roulettes because that's my boy in real life. All right, from LA. Are you a LA Rams, Chargers, some other team? Let me know, RP. Thanks for popping in, by the way. It's good to have you in here as a part of the community.
Roulettes let us know that Mike White directed White Lotus, which has high ratings, but not as high as Mike White's. I am actually in the middle of season 2 of White Lotus, so hopefully it's great. I'm looking forward to catching up on it. Hope you watch it, Roulette.
Cooper, we give you all the respect, man. I know we love you. We love you. We always appreciate you.
Scotty.
I don't respect you.
Yeah, Scotty.
Don't worry, the rest of us do.
We all love you, Cooper.
Yeah. Everyone else can respect you, and I don't. It's kind of like then maybe you can earn my respect at some point. We'll see.
Really wondering if White
good
is one hit from being back in the game.
He did fine. The reason I don't respect you is because of these people blowing you up in the chat. Actually, it's the whole chat's fault. Actually, Cooper.
I could also grow a decent beard, so there's that. See, there you go.
If that's one thing I got to knock you on. I got the better beard.
Oh, okay. All right.
Coop?
Fair enough.
Ginger beard has something to say though.
Around Auburn.
Do we casually averages backstage at the moment? Just hanging out casually. You have something to say? What do you got, casually?
If you one, I can go ahead and bring him in.
Yeah, let's bring him casually average. We haven't had anyone backstage so far, so casually.
We don't want anyone great tonight. We just want someone perfectly average.
I mean, we were talking about how he's perfect for the Vikings. They're casually average.
Casually, what do you got for us?
Well, I mean, with such lukewarm expectations, I might as well root for the Vikings then.
Fair enough.
You made it in your screen name there. You're perfectly average, which is a good thing.
But I don't know if you
actually like that it's casually.
Yeah, I think casually.
Don't try that hard either.
It sets the tone.
Nice. Yeah.
He's muted. I guess he had to go do something real quick.
Casually, what are your thoughts? Any other thoughts on this game or any other games?
He's muted and deafened. He can't hear us.
Oh, what happened?
All right, fair enough.
You talked and he freaked out. Actually, it was probably me talking.
All right. Well, until Devil Doc is backstage, well, let's introduce this one then. We'll get Devil Doc in here. Steelers at Ravens. By the way, guys, if you guys feel like you want to jump in at any point, we are getting a little bit later in the show, but we could always have a couple of you guys pop in periodically. So don't hesitate to jump backstage in our Discord server. Steelers at Ravens. Steelers are 3.5-point underdogs to the Ravens in Baltimore.
Yep. Sorry. You're right. Sorry.
Over under set at 36. So that's where we're sitting at this one. Division rivalry here. And hey, this one, typically these division games, I think are just like low scoring, grindy, AFC North kind of battles. I think this one's going to be similar. I just don't know if there's going to be a lot of scoring. The total kind of shares that sentiment. Hey, thank you, Football Wife, for gifting out that sub.
Football Wife. RP Dimer?
Dimer is he loves Burrow and the Bengals, so obviously Football Wife had to come in and take care of him. Thank you.
Taking care of him or her or whoever.
Yep. I'm good, Rick.
Only 144. Who's that? Who's that voice? There was a voice, right?
We got Casually back.
I'm not losing my.
Yes, apparently Casually, you there?
Yep, loud and clear.
There you go.
You are live with the action. I'm just kidding. That seems weird.
What? Any other thoughts on this game or any other games, Casually, that you want to just throw out there?
Well, I was going to buy my time, wait for the Rams of Texas pop up naturally, but I can comment on anything you want me to.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest. Somehow that didn't make one of our featured matchups.
So tell us about it then. Tell us about it since we're not talking about it. What do you like?
Right, well, I know everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, so I'm trying not to say too much about it. But I do think there is a possibility of Baker Mayfield finding his permanent home in the NFL.
Ooh.
Okay.
Permanent home in LA, huh?
And so do you feel like Stafford's done? He doesn't beat out Stafford.
No. I think Stafford is very much health dependent. Here's a few variables I'm looking to watch for. I'm looking to see over the next couple of games if Sean McVay continues to have fun coaching Baker Mayfield. And even if they don't have the wins, if the offense has some sort of rhythm and they're both pretty happy and the culture's good, Mayfield has a lot to learn. He can sit on the bench for a couple years, kind of season his skill a little bit. If Stafford's healthy, great. You've got another playoff run, possibly if the O-line's fixed. I know a lot of ifs, but we'll see what happens. And then if not, well, okay, Mayfield's a competent backup at worst. And after the following season, who knows?
Okay. All right.
But
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, he's certainly a competent backup. It'll be interesting. I mean, he's done well there. Like, I liked him going to Carolina, quite frankly, and it didn't work out there. I thought he got a bad rap, but then I was like, maybe he's just done. And
but look at the coaching. But look at the coaching there too, Scotty.
Sure.
You had a coach that was a couple weeks away from getting the can, and it was very much prove season with Ghost Hunter, which, no disrespect to him, that's usually not setting the correct vibe for a rebound season.
Well, and Sean McVay can cure a lot of issues. I mean, we saw going in last year with all the quarterbacks that when Stafford got injured last year on the run to the Super Bowl, they plugged in guys and they were getting some production, and they can still make, and he's good at putting quarterbacks in good positions to win. So from that standpoint, totally got
Stafford got hurt last year.
He missed, like, I think, a game or something. I don't know. I thought there was some point where they were.
John Wolford played.
There was
that reminds me, Chris Strevler. I know where I recognize that name from. I think he was the backup to John Wolford when Stafford was at one of those games.
I don't.
Or that was maybe with the Jared Goff era, but there was a sequence where that CFL quarterback came in because John Wolford got hurt.
Yeah, because Wolford filled in late a couple of years ago with Goff, and then he got hurt.
No,
I think that was before Stafford. I don't think Stafford was hurt last year.
Guys, I know what you're talking about.
Maybe not anything that sidelined him now.
It was a game. It was a game a few years ago. It was a Week 17 game. Of course, Goff got hurt, so Wolford came in. And then the Cardinals, who they were playing, Kyler got hurt, so Strevler came in. It was Strevler versus Wolford to see who goes to the playoffs.
So
Fantastic
yeah,
matchup.
yeah. But anyways, yeah. So interesting. We'll see what happens though. But I mean, who knows? Baker might find a home. But Casually, appreciate you popping in and giving your insights on that one. Since we're not talking about that game, thanks for popping in, brother.
Yeah,
Certainly.
appreciate it.
Good to
Now
have
go
you.
give me the boot doc talk for an hour about the Steelers.
Yeah, well, so can I.
We got Rec, we got Devil Doc, all Steelers fans
Too
here.
many people that want to talk about a below average football team.
Oh no! Don't get
what?
it.
What
Don't
did
start
I say?
up. By the way,
if
I guess
only they had Cooper Rush, then they'd be legit.
I would definitely take Cooper over Kenny. I got you, buddy.
Oh no, that's sad actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh no. But Steelers at Ravens. This one, yeah. Scotty, what do you got on this one? Then we could touch on Devil Doc and Rec. We can get their thoughts on it, and then we still have a lot to get to when it comes to our year in review ranking. So we'll have to breeze through a little bit of this, but
Smooth. I'm on this as in one of my teasers, Chris. So I'm on. Listen, when the Steelers and Ravens play, it feels like it always comes down to a field goal, right? Like it's a battle left and right. It doesn't matter the year, the situation with the teams. It's always a close football game. So I'm taking the Steelers and teasing them up 6 points. Unfortunately, not at 3.5. It was down at 2.5. So I have them at 8.5. Teased up the Steelers to 8.5. Thinking, listen, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson's probably not playing. I know I put him in this clip and they haven't officially announced him, but he wasn't at practice today. So he's probably not playing. Their pass offense is non-existent right now. Even when Lamar comes back, I'm not sure they're going to have a great pass offense because of the injuries that they suffered. Outside of Mark Andrews, like, who do you have? Their top wide receivers are already hurt. They don't have a lot of options in the passing game. So they're relying on the running game. I think this is going to be a battle. It's going to be a close game. The Steelers are still somehow alive, Rec and Doc, for a playoff berth. I don't know how, but they are. It's still a long shot, but still alive. And I don't know that the Ravens have a ton to play for here. Like, maybe they can take the division from the Bengals, but probably not. I don't think the Bengals care that much. They're already qualified for the playoffs. I don't think it's as important of a game for them. So give me Steelers, tease them up 6 points, and love that.
yeah, I think Ravens have been relying more on their defense as of late as well, to kind of keep them in games, not necessarily offensively, but just defensively. And then particularly against the run and on third down, where, the Steelers have relied a little bit more on the run. So, that means Kenny Pickett's going to need to throw the ball if they're not able to run the ball, and then try to get Kenny Pickett out of his comfort zone a little bit. So I think that there's going to be some challenges on both sides here. I'm kind of with you, though. I'd rather tease it up on the other side as opposed to picking this line as it is. But Devil Doc popping in. Doc, what's going on, brother? How are you doing? What are your thoughts on this one?
Good. I'm doing good. Good evening, gentlemen. I personally think that this is going to be like it was the last time these two teams meet, minus the KP8 concussion. I agree with you, Scotty. I think that they should rest Lamar. There's no reason to play him. He's got to rest up that PCL. I think that this is going to come down to, like I said last week, against the Raiders. You have to try and play to win the game, not do too much, get out of your comfort zone like Pickett. He threw that one bad interception, but then he comes back and does that drive against the Raiders. Shows that this guy may have a little bit more in him than we thought. He's definitely a gutsy guy. You got to give him credit for getting in there and getting dirty and coming back after his concussion and leading us to a win last week. But also a fun stat was for me, and this is where I think the difference is going to be, Baltimore's receiving core, like you said. Who are you going to have besides Andrew? And they scored their first touchdown since week 3 with a reception touchdown. Demarcus Robinson. It took them 13 weeks to get a reception touchdown. So
he's not very good. I know that very well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured you would know that,
Yeah.
cough.
Yeah.
But you got to look at how Najee's run. He's come back. He's like a new running back. He looks like he's running harder. He's catching the ball. They're utilizing him better. The play scheme seems to be opening up finally. So I think as long as we can play like we did against the Raiders, we're in it. I mean, look at how we were against them when Pickett was out. If Mitch doesn't throw 3 terrible picks in that game, we beat them. And I honestly don't see Baltimore going very far in the playoffs without a pass game. So I definitely think that we have a good opportunity to actually beat them like we should have the last time we met.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that's good analysis. Thank you, Double Doc. Listen, like I said, I think it's going to be a close, hard-fought game. Not probably a pretty game if you're like focusing on the offense at any point. A lot of run game, a lot of maybe some play action fakes and trying to get things in that manner. But if I can take the side that's the underdog in the game, I think could go either way. Give me Steelers. And again, also, not only do I think it could go either way, but it's the team that needs it more. So,
These games are never pretty. So
no, but fun to watch usually.
yes.
By the way, in the chat, we have a close game in the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets end up being in
Nuggets
a tough spot.
Choked away.
Choked away this one.
Oh no.
Looks like they Malik Monk and then Fitz.
Chris, my sympathies on the blowout loss last week. I sympathize with you moving on to basketball season.
Oh, I'm fully shifted. Thank you, Hauser, for the
Just
biddies,
look
and thank you
Thank
for
you.
the message.
Look at it.
Hey, I'm on to
Did you even
basketball,
know
baby.
Did you even know football was still happening?
I didn't even know there was a week. I didn't even know it
you're
counted high
rocking-
enough to week 17.
Rocking that new Nuggets hoodie.
Yeah,
I rub
yeah.
salt in the wound for you, but the Nickelodeon when Patrick absolutely roasted you guys on that touchdown was the highlight of my week. by the
Patrick
way.
Starr,
Sorry.
is doing his thing. Trying to let
God.
Russ know what's going on. But yeah, no, it's a rough
love
go.
it.
But yeah, I'm shifting to the Nuggets. Nuggets lot. It looks like they're gonna lose one tonight, and looks like
It's just an extreme choke job in the fourth.
Dimer had -1 on the Kings. Oof.
Clearly, it's because MPJ is back.
Doc, thank you for the analysis, man. It was good to have you on here. Thank you for supporting the channel as always.
Absolutely.
100%.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you guys. Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
Rock
Let's
Chalk.
go. Let's go.
There you go. Rec, any final thoughts on this one before we shift?
Well, give me a minute as my thing decides to fail again. There we go.
See,
Right,
Rex
but,
always been potatoing.
Yeah, no, potato Rec.
Yeah, because my poor ass doesn't want to buy something anyways.
That's true.
Jeff, 36 over under is kind of interesting.
I mean, it's the epitome of an AFC North rivalry.
Small number. It's a very small
If you-
number.
If you hate sloppy defensive hard-fought football, you hate the Steelers and the Ravens.
Yeah, no, it's gonna
I
be
do hate the Ravens, but that's besides the point.
it might be a rough one to watch, that's for sure.
And
Yeah.
frankly, the offenses aren't where both defenses are right now. Not at least yet. Especially Baltimore's struggling without Lamar. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So
Of course, the big thing here is as long as we can stop the run, at the very least, not give up 200 yards again, we should be okay.
All right, there's key to the game right there. Hey,
Let's
Diacola,
go.
thank you for
Thank
gifting a
you.
sub to Roulettes. Congratulations, Roulettes. There you go. You got some new emotes, and so you got some cool perks coming your way. Thank you for the support, Diacola. Appreciate that.
100 in the Hauser Rock Chalk Jayhawk KU. Let's go. KU battle tonight. Sad about them losing that bowl game, but proud of them. And the basketball team's playing pretty damn legit, Chris. So look out for that.
There you go. Well, that's our Week 17 preview. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's dive into our best bets before we get into our final segment of the night to close out, and that's our top 10 best sporting things that happen, sporting events, sporting moments over the course of 2022 as we shift to 2023. But here we go here. A couple games that we didn't cover on my side, but Scotty, go ahead, run through yours real quick, and we'll go through mine here in a second.
We covered all my games, to be honest. So I've talked about these, but these are my picks of the week. Obviously, 40-24 speaks for itself, Chris. I think that's pretty good. It's pretty damn good, right, Rec? As you're laughing. Carolina and Miami both +3. I'm taking dogs all 4 this week. Love me some dogs. Carolina and Miami +3. Teasing Pitt up to 8.5 with Seattle 7.5, and then Cincy Monday Night Football +1 against the Bills. Let's go Bengals.
There you go. All right, so you guys already know about. So I have Cleveland +8, Miami +8.5. Tampa Bay -3, but the two other ones I have here, Giants -5 in this one, and then Jacksonville -4. Jacksonville, obviously, I think that this is a great spot for Jacksonville in this one. The Jaguars offense, both run and pass, have been decent as of late, even scoring 19 in bad weather against an elite defense on a short rest on the road last week. Look ahead line early on, before the games last week, Jaguars -5.5 in this one. So adjustment downward. I just feel good about what the Jaguars are going to be able to do against Houston. Starters could also rest as part of the game. So playing Jacksonville's first half line is kind of, a good piece here that I was thinking about, but I just think they win this one by 4. I think they're in good shape on that front. On the other side, I have the Giants -5. Giants -5. I think, Indianapolis on the road. I don't know if I can get on board with Indianapolis, especially in this situation. Kayvon Thibodeau should have a field day against the Colts offensive line. I think he's been playing out of his mind. And there's a lot to like there. So Giants feel like a team that you don't want to, put a bunch of points, but the Colts are bad enough to make this happen. So I like the Giants in this one -5. I think they can do it. Durandum, I can dig it. There you go. So those are our bets of the week. So we will improve, hopefully, on what we have on that.
I'm worried about your Jacksonville pick, Chris.
A little worried about Jacksonville?
Because of the same reason I'm worried about the Titans. The Jags have nothing to play for. Nothing.
It's also, I feel like for Jacksonville, though, it's like a momentum. Try and build momentum, win this game, then win the Titans game, and then go into the playoffs with a little momentum on their side.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like they're a young team, so they still could use this game to develop. The Titans are an older team, so they could use this game to rest.
Well, one team's smarter than the other then.
Yeah. So I think Doug Pearson came out and said, I think it was Doug Pearson, it might have been someone else, but Doug Pearson came out and said that they're not resting their starters at all. Like, that's not an option.
I'm not saying they should rest their starters, but at the same time, the starters are not going to be focused because it's hard, especially with a young team, to focus on a game that means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing to you.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I don't know. We'll see.
Jacksonville's certainly the better team.
They're the better
and
team
should
in
win
this
by more than
matchup.
4, but I don't know if they show up.